In this segment, we're going to talk about packages. Packages are basically an organizational unit for the Java programming language and Java applications. And you'll see the Java programming language actually is made up of a number of packages. Now, you might relate packages to folder structures, and that's exactly what they are. They're actually a series of folders that are used to keep classes of code. Now, while they're used to keep classes of code, they're also used to identify those classes of code. So those packages actually make up the fully qualified name of a class. I'll explain that in a minute, but the idea here is we can use packages so that our code is separated into these units, and then we don't have, for example, namespace collisions if we use the same variable name because they exist in different packages. So let me show you how to, first of all, create your code in a package, and secondarily, how to execute your code in a package. So I'm going to start my Hello World code, which I had up here, and this is just, of course, a little program that runs Hello World. And I'm going to say package. And usually the way we identify the package is with what's called a reverse domain name. We start with the end of the domain name and work our way forward to a unique identifier. So my company is called learntoprogram.tv. So we'll start with tv.learntoprogram.android course. And that'll be our package for this entire course. Make sure I spell it right. Android course, C-O-U-R-S-E, looks good. All right, and then I'm going to put a semicolon to terminate that line. I'm going to save. Now that I've saved, it's actually going to be a slightly different process to run the file or compile and run the file from the command line. Let's bring up our command line here, or our terminal. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with, let's find our file. So it's in the Java folder. Now, by the way, both the PC's command line and the Mac's command line and every Linux command line I've ever seen has autocomplete. If I just hit tab right here, to see that, it auto-completes the line of code. Now, this is designed to make my life easier, so I don't have to type long commands over and over, and I can get through the paths pretty quickly. So if we list, and of course in Windows it's dir. Dir works on the Mac too, by the way. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Thought it did for a second. I'm thinking of Linux. The Linux distribution I use, dir works, but ls is what you use on the Mac. All right, so there's our list. We have Hello World Java and an old Hello World class file. All right, I'm not going to worry about that old class file. We're not going to need it. And I'm going to go ahead and recompile. But watch what happens when I recompile. So we're going to use the javac command, and we're compiling hello world.java. And let's see what happens here. There we go. All right, so now we've got our compiled file, but let's see how it was compiled. There's hello world.class, okay? So let's try running hello world.class. Don't need the .class. And we get an error. And what it's saying is no class definition found, hello world, wrong name. And here it says tv/learntoprogram/android course/hello world. Because it was in the package, it's not finding what it was expecting to find when we ran the file. So what happens is we actually have to compile it inside the folder structure that we've declared right here. All right, so let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to now compile it like this. Java C -D, which is the directory flag, a dot, which means we're going to start in this folder, and now we're going to put the file name hello world.java. All right, still need to fix that problem with the path. I thought I had corrected it, but I guess I didn't. All right, so now you'll notice there's a TV folder here. And if we go into the TV folder, there's a Learn to Program folder. And if we go into the Learn to Program folder, you bet there's an Android course folder. And inside the Android course folder is hello world.class. Now you're probably thinking, okay, well then I just need to Java from here, hello world.class class or the Hello World class file. But now again we get an error because it's still looking for the path. If you see right here, TV Learn to Program Android Course Hello World. So you're probably thinking, well, how do we run this darn thing? Well, here's what we do. Let's go back up a few folder levels here. And so now we need to go up one more. There's our TV folder. So the way we're going to run this is like this, with the fully qualified class name, which includes the package. So we're going to use the Java command, Java tv.learn2program.android course.hello-world. If we run it like that, there's our hello world from Java output. So there we're running it in the entire package. So please remember that packages are organizational units that are used to organize different parts of the Java code, including the Java code that you write and the Java code that already exists in the language, and that we actually create those with a package statement. From now on, most of the rest of the programs we create are going to be created in packages in Java.